Yes, you guys, welcome back today. In today's News Daily video, I'm going to break down the 4 stories doing the rounds today. We're going to learn the latest injury updates surrounding our players during international break. To continue on, we're going to find out where we are playing our first and second leg of games against FC Porto in the quarterfinals. And to end with some more transfer related news, you guys, we're going to discuss the latest surrounding Sergio Aguero on a free transfer, and KONATE from RB Leipzig reports originally stated that Liverpool were close to getting this deal finalised and done. However, we are still in the running. And of course, you guys hear my thoughts and opinions behind all the stories today. I hope you enjoy. Remember to smash that like button. I'm going to get over 2,000 likes for today's video. And without wasting any more time, now to start with things, let's discuss the injury updates from our players during international break. And in what is very typical fashion, whenever there is an international period, forever, we will have players coming back in a worse condition. Now, to start with the first one, we already know that N'Golo Kante has returned back from the French national team, with another small strain. And whenever he plays for France, he constantly has strains. And I don't know, it's quite frustrating. Didier Deschamps constantly plays him during the entire full 90 minutes, and sometimes you think with the depth of options that France possess, does Kante need to really finish these games? I'm not too sure. I don't know what's happening during the training sessions, but it constantly seems to be a thing happening time and time again. However, with the other 2 updates, we now move on to Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he missed the last game for the England under-21 team due to picking up a shoulder injury. So due to this, he has returned back to the club, and most times when players pick up an injury and they have to return back to their parent clubs, it tells you that this is a lot more serious and a lot more severe. At this point in time though, we don't necessarily know how severe this injury is, but the reality is, with the club right now, with the team right now, the competition is extremely fierce, and whoever's unfortunate enough to pick up an injury, in a sense, puts you straight back down to the pecking order. And moving on to Mason Mount, and it seems like he won't be taking any part in England's game versus Poland. And the positive news is that he is not returning back to the club. He's remaining with the team. Let's hope that he won't be out for too long, because once this period's over, we have some must-win games coming up. Of course, we've got Porto coming up very soon too. So let's hope that these guys get back fully fit and we have a full-strength team with Tuchel to work with. And now, you guys, we move on to the second story today, and this is some updated news surrounding our UCL game against FC Porto next week. Now, it seems like both the first and second leg of games will be taking place in Spain in Sevilla's home stadium. Now, of course, you might be wondering if the home and away rules might become different. Standard rules still apply regardless, and of course, to give you guys a quick update, the first leg will count as the away game. It takes place on the 7th of April on a Wednesday night, and of course the second leg game takes place on the 13th of April, and that will count as our home game. So, we have some very good experience playing in Sevilla Stadium. Let's not forget that it was this season Drew made it 4 goals against them, playing away from home in one of our best away performances throughout the season. And this does continue the recent trends in this year's UCL when it comes to playing in stadiums in which we've had previous past glories. So bring on FC Porto, a team we must respect, a team we must be ready for, but I feel like this gives us an amazing opportunity to finally get into the semi-finals of the UCL for the first time in Lord knows how many years. So, of course, you guys in the comment section, I have to ask you now, do you feel like we can beat Sevilla? Are you excited? And do you see us progressing into the semi-finals of this year's UCL? Let us know below. And now, let's discuss some transfer news. And we're now going to move on to Sergio Aguero. Now, it was confirmed last night that Man City announced Aguero will be leaving them after being there for 11 years. So, without a doubt, he is a Premier League legend. Without a doubt, Man City legend, arguably their greatest player of all time. And reports have come out from France, from Foot Massara in particular, and already, with Aguero about to become a free agent this summer, he has been receiving contract offers, and we are one of the clubs showing an interest in signing him. The other clubs, if you guys are curious, are Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, Man United as well, and Barcelona. And with Aguero, with his experience in the Premier League, his lasting impact here too, and with the club's pursuits very serious pursuits to try and win the Premier League for next season. I guess needing that experience in the team could be a valuable thing to have to help us achieve that goal. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. It's a very interesting one. I feel like Aguero, very decisive move, could have like this ridiculous domino effect, because I feel like there are so many clubs that could benefit from signing him. In particular, I'll give you guys an example. I'm looking at Inter Milan. We know that Inter Milan have a financial situation at this point in time. Ideally, they don't want to sell Lukaku, but they could be forced to. But what could make his sell even easier was if they sign Aguero to partner alongside Martinez, maintaining that same quality as well. Him being available on a free means that his player cost per year is only his wages, and clubs love to balance their books by having players like this in the squad. So as an example, you can see the benefits that could allow Inter Milan to let Lukaku leave, because they have a great replacement ready to come. Another part of me also feels like there's still a strong possibility that we could potentially see an entirely new forward line for next season. I think at this point in time, out of all the strikers at the club's disposal, it's safe to say that Olivier Giroud is the one most likely to be guaranteed to be leaving once the season ends. And in the case of Tammy Abraham, of course, he has postponed contract talks. He wants certain assurances about his long-term future. You're consistently hearing about strikers being linked with the club time and time again, and when you're not getting the contract you want, which is essentially to have the same parity that players like Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic have, considering that last season your 18 goals throughout the season played a massive part in helping us secure a top 4 finish, for me it's only natural that you're not going to commit entirely to the club at this point in time. So if this scenario did happen, for next season we could potentially start that with no strikers, and guaranteed we're signing a striker, but we could need a backup striker in case 2, and in the case of Aguero, he could be an excellent signing to make. I don't know, you guys, I feel like a lot more news will come out surrounding this. Of course, the season ends in a handful of months, and Aguero has discussed potentially, back in the day, really being excited to sign for us. If he was to sign for us, this could be an amazing opportunity to still remain in the Premier League, in a country where he's very settled, a league where he's settled in, where his family is settled as well, and to move his family to London could be something that works out for everyone. That's only how I'm seeing things. That's only my thoughts and opinions. You guys, let us know below. Do you think that Aguero being available on a free is a guaranteed must-need signing? Let us know below. Now, we end things with a final report, and we now go to RB Leipzig's Ibrahima KONATE. And over the past few days, there was a big article released by The Athletic which kind of confirmed that Liverpool were the main club leading the hunt to sign KONATE. They reported that potentially he had done a medical too, and basically the deal is very close to being finalised and being completed. Now, at the time, Leipzig stated that they weren't too aware about what was happening, but the reality is, KONATE has a 40 million release clause, meaning that once that's exercised, no club actually has to speak to Leipzig at all. So you'd imagine that every club will be just paying the buyout clause outright to sign KONATE. So this is where we now come into the equation, because a report from L'Equipe that came out today suggests that KONATE's move to Liverpool is not quite as finalised as it first looks. We are still in the hunt, we are still in discussions, we are still holding meetings with the player. And now let's go back to previous reports. We know that with our new assistant manager in Zoltz, who's worked under Tuchel for many seasons now, who also worked at RB Leipzig, where he has a first-hand experience of watching KONATE in training week in, week out. Both him and Tuchel are big fans of his nature, of his capabilities, his abilities, and they're playing their part to persuade him to come to Stamford Bridge. Now, KONATE, he fits the mold and profile the club are looking to sign, a commanding presence who has the technical abilities to match with great 1v1 abilities. He's a great defender, and with his height, his stature, he's one of those guys that when he goes to win that ball, you're not getting it off him. So I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions, and I'm going to imagine that some of you guys might get bored from this, but even though I think he's a great player, personally, as we've seen time and time again, players from the Bundesliga need at least one season to acclimatise. We have a great defence this season. For me, one of the best defences easily in the league, hence all the clean sheets. And, if we're being fair and objective, if we analyse the individual performances of every defender this season, all our centre backs, I mean, we'd have to say that they've all been very good this season. None fall below like a 7 out of 10 rating. And I don't know, when we're seeing the quality already, for me, a new centre-back signing has to be even better. With KONATE, yes, he's got great attributes now, but I still feel like his potential is the main thing that's being looked towards when it comes to a signing. From Liverpool's perspective, I would understand why they're going for him, because they need like a Van Dijk backup in that sense. However, we have Kurt Zouma, we've got Rudiger, who seems to be in the best form I've seen him playing for us. Christensen seems to be confident in his game, his body, and how he likes to play too. And of course, Thiago Silva is very close to signing a contract extension. You already know the talent we possess in the youth ranks as well. I feel like these guys will be ready-made players in the next few years. But looking at Mark Gay and what he's doing too, let's trust what we have. I feel like we need to definitely sign players in the striker position and the midfield too. Spend big money to secure great options there. I feel like maybe spending money on a centre-back right now, and a goalkeeper too, really just isn't needed. Let's get 2 main positions, let's get some squad positions too, and honestly, I think we'll then have a squad that is ready to tackle everything. So you guys, on that note, they were my thoughts and opinions. That was the news today. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm Nini EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Peace.